us, Ambassador Sobdan, with your perspective on that big story. Moving on now to more news, in fact, coming in this hour. Russian President Vladimir Putin has stated that there is no need to use nuclear weapons in Ukraine and hopes they would not be necessary. The Kremlin emphasized that Russia has the strength to bring the conflict to a logical conclusion. Meanwhile, tensions are rising over Russia's proposed three-day ceasefire. The Kremlin criticized Ukraine for not accepting the truce, calling the response ambiguous. The ceasefire, which was meant to coincide with Russia's Victory Day commemorations, aimed to ease international tensions. Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky rejected the offer, calling it a theatrical show. He argued that such a short truce wouldn't help negotiations for lasting peace. He added that Ukraine cannot guarantee the safety of foreign dignitaries attending Russia's May 9th Victory Day parade. On the ground, Russia continues its attacks on Ukraine. A drone strike on Kiev injured at least 11 people, including 2 children. Several residential buildings were set on fire by falling debris. This follows Ukrainian strikes on multiple Russian cities, which Russia labeled a mass drone attack. The escalation of drone warfare continues as both sides exchange blows in the ongoing conflict. Martin Sa, Erez, international affairs expert, is joining us live from Frankfurt. Martin, thank you for being with us today on NewsX World. What do you make of these latest statements by Vladimir Putin on the nuclear issue?
Well, I think Putin wants to gain international legitimacy by pretending to wanting to end the war in Ukraine, but it seems that it's not on the interests. They already had appearance in the past negotiation that Kremlin never what they said they will be doing.
Right, Martin, also as far as, of course, now Ukraine is concerned, they've rejected this ceasefire, this short ceasefire. What led to this decision by Ukraine?
They rejected it because Vladimir Zelensky doesn't want to give Russia the international recognition and doesn't want to give also Trump an excuse to give Kremlin what they want. These negotiations are not for the best interest of Ukraine, but also Trump is getting very, very exhausted about this topic. It seems that none of those parties are going to cooperate because none of them, they have like the its interest on to be taken for granted and to be, I mean, Putin doesn't want to stop the war because they want to keep the former Russian territories for them, but Vladimir Zelensky wants to keep the interests of Ukraine about its natural resources and its territories.
Okay, and of course, as far as now, Martin, you know, the conflict is concerned, which direction do you see it headed? You know, reportedly there have been multiple drone strikes. Do you see the offensive only increasing in the days ahead? Martin, can you hear me? Okay, I think we've lost him. All right, more news meanwhile coming in this hour. Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese has celebrated a sweeping re-election win